Welcome to nurtravelstudio, and we will visit today Australia's one of the most beautiful city called Sydney. Sydney is the capital city of the state of New South Wales, and the most populous city in both Australia and Oceania. Located on Australia's east coast, the metropolis surrounds Sydney Harbour and extends about 70 kilometres towards the Blue Mountains to the west, Hawkesbury to the north, the Royal National Park to the south and Macarthur to the southwest. Sydney is made up of 658 suburbs, spread across 33 local government areas. 2021 census recorded the population of Greater Sydney as 5,231,150, meaning the city is home to approximately 66% of the state's population. Sydney, Australia's largest city, is best known for its harbourfront Sydney Opera House, with a distinctive sail-like design. Massive Darling Harbour and the smaller circular quay port are hubs of waterside life, with the arched harbour bridge and esteemed Royal Botanic Garden nearby. Sydney Tower's outdoor platform, the Skywalk, offers 360-degree views of the city and suburbs. City of iconic attractions and brilliant beaches, Sydney is a destination you'll never forget. Sydney is home to must-visit icons like the Sydney Harbour Bridge and Opera House, but this harbour city is constantly evolving. New rooftop bars, theatre shows and designer shops pop up at every turn, and the urban excitement is perfectly balanced by afternoons spent lying on the sand. Sydney is the perfect base for day trips and weekends away. Popular destinations include the Sydney Opera House, the Sydney Harbour Bridge, Watsons Bay, the Rocks, Sydney Tower, Darling Harbour, the State Library of New South Wales, the Royal Botanic Garden, the Australian Museum, the Museum of Contemporary Art, the Art Gallery of New South Wales, the Queen Victoria Building, Sea Life Sydney Aquarium, Taronga Zoo, Bondi Beach, Luna Park and Sydney Olympic Park. Aboriginal Australians have inhabited the Greater Sydney region for at least 30,000 years, and Aboriginal engravings and cultural sites are common throughout Greater Sydney. Traditional custodians of the land on which modern Sydney stands are the clans of the Darug, Darawal and Eora peoples. During his first Pacific voyage in 1770, James Cook charted the eastern coast of Australia, making landfall at Botany Bay. After World War II, Sydney experienced mass migration, and by 2021 over 40% of the population was born overseas. Foreign countries of birth with the greatest representation are mainland China, India, England, Vietnam and the Philippines. Despite being one of the most expensive cities in the world, Sydney frequently ranks in the top 10 most livable cities in the world. It is classified as an Alpha Global City by the Globalization and World Cities Research Network, indicating its influence in the region and throughout the world. Sydney has an advanced market economy with strengths in finance, manufacturing and tourism. Established in 1850, the University of Sydney was Australia's first university and is regarded as one of the world's leading universities. Sydney has hosted major international sporting events such as the 2000 Summer Olympics. The city is among the top 15 most visited cities in the world, with millions of tourists coming each year to see the city's landmarks. The city has over 2,500,000 acres of nature reserves and parks, and its notable natural features include Sydney Harbour and Royal National Park. Sydney Harbour Bridge and the World Heritage listed Sydney Opera House are major tourist attractions. Central Station is the hub of Sydney's rail network, and the main passenger airport serving the city is Kingsford Smith Airport, one of the world's oldest continually operating airports. Sydney is a coastal basin with the Tasman Sea to the east, the Blue Mountains to the west, the Hawkesbury River to the north, and the Woronora Plateau to the south. The inner city of Sydney measures 25 square kilometres. The Greater Sydney region, which includes the non-metropolitan areas of Central Coast, Blue Mountains, Woorondilly, Wollongong and Shell Harbour, Metropolitan Sydney's boundaries stretch 88 kilometres from Palm Beach in the north to Waterfall in the south, and 70 kilometres from Bondi Beach in the east to Emu Plains in the west. Sydney is made up of mostly Triassic rock, with some recent igneous dikes and volcanic necks. Sydney Basin was formed when the Earth's crust expanded, subsided, and filled with sediment in the early Triassic period. Sydney has a humid subtropical climate with warm and sometimes hot summers and cool winters, as described by the Australian Bureau of Statistics. The El Niño Southern Oscillation, the Indian Ocean Dipole, and the Southern Annular Mode play an important role in determining Sydney's weather patterns, drought and bushfire on the one hand, and storms and flooding on the other, associated with the opposite phases of the oscillation in Australia. The weather is moderated by proximity to the ocean, and more extreme temperatures are recorded in the inland western suburbs. Modern and international architecture came to Sydney from the 1940s. Since its completion in 1973, the city's Opera House has become a World Heritage Site and one of the world's most renowned pieces of modern design. Sydney is a gateway to Australia for many international visitors. It has hosted over 2.8 million international visitors in 2013, or nearly half of all international visits to Australia. These visitors spent 59 million nights in the city and a total of $5.9 billion. Countries of origin in descending order were China, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, the United States, South Korea, Japan, Singapore, Germany, Hong Kong, and India. The city also received 8.3 million domestic overnight visitors in 2013, who spent a total of $6 billion. 26,700 workers in the City of Sydney were directly employed by tourism in 2011. There were 480,000 visitors and 27,500 people staying overnight each day in 2012. On average, the tourism industry contributes $36 million to the city's economy per day. Major developmental projects designed to increase Sydney's tourism sector include a casino and hotel at Barangaroo and the redevelopment of East Darling Harbour, which involves a new exhibition and convention centre, now Australia's largest. Sydney is the highest-ranking city in the world for international students. More than 50,000 international students study at the city's universities, and a further 50,000 study at its vocational and English language schools. International education contributes $1.6 billion to the local economy and creates demand for 4,000 local jobs each year. There are 6 public universities based in Sydney: the University of Sydney, University of New South Wales, University of Technology Sydney, Macquarie University, Western Sydney University, and Australian Catholic University. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any question, then please leave in the comment box. If you love this video, then please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe Nerd Travel Studio. See you in the next video. Until that, stay safe. Bye.